dangerous just as they were on Inferno. So I would expect Mousesports obviously to still be a team looking to win this in a pretty one-sided fashion. And that's not a bad way to kick things off for Mousesports with a good little pop flash peek off a cat.
Yeah, beautifully done, really. And because they saw no one else, it stands to reason it could be a B hit. Now, Rops has found that out firsthand as a bullet passes through his eyes. He did dish one out before he fell. So the advantage still going to remain for Mousesports, but it's now been taken away. Duplicate going to navigate through with the Glock. He's landing headshots left and right. It's labored, but finally Woxi goes down. It's all on Frozen. 3 kills to Duplicate's name. Can he add a 4th? No. Double Magic takes it away from him. And Fate
from doors and top window. And through all of that, Fate still brute forced their way into it. Great little full house of frags from Duplicate and Double Magic. So really well done. But the force buy is here from Mousesports. Double scout on Woxi and Rops. Already one has found its mark, and it looks like another might be on its way. Indeed, it is. What the hell is that from Woxi? That second headshot was so nasty.
This is just an appetizer of things to come, man. Once he has that up, he is going to start ripping through faces. Christian on the cross, and the bombs drop down.
Vince's mic is somehow muted, so I'll keep it going, as we do have a 2-on-1 on our hands. Bomb is down, way out of Double Magic's reach. He's trying to find a play with this AK-47. Chris J, though, is holding him off at the pass with the Deagle. He's got assistance as well from Rops, who's on the CT side of mid doors, getting this bomb back. Yeah, good luck. Good nade damage, though, onto Chris J. Smoke comes in to isolate Chris, but Chris finds the headshot, and it's a tied game.
Mousesports no Kevlar for Double Magic, who's maybe opting for the earlier AWP. But as they traverse out of mid, it's Karrigan that's going to get the drop, spins around with his USP. Nearly gets the second onto Marlan. It was incredibly close. Woxi is still patrolling around mid, and Victor's head has been caved in from the scouts. And now it's down to Marlan, who is the player that nearly fell to the USP with the Desert Eagle. At least has the bomb under his control. The CPs aren't entirely sure where it is, but they now know where he is. And they're going to push in unison, and it's Woxi that takes
here onto essentially a full save as well, so there should be an easy one for Mouse.
That should have been an easy kill for Woxi, but he does uncharacteristically miss it. Fortunately for him, Frozen and Chris J are there.
Continues to push all the way in, as just Rainwakers they're kind of holding.
Oh, Chris J, that's filthy. Through the wooden pillar as well. It's just so rough. The log's not going to save him. Rainwaker comes up, though. His 2 kills make it 3. Some serious damage inflicted across the Fate, but they're still getting the kills where it counts. Frozen can maybe rummage around the side of the smoke, but Marlan going to be headhunting him. A 2-on-1. The way Woxi's been playing over the duration of Inferno, you'd fancy him to take this.
They're low on health too, and he has an HE grenade. He could easily just get 1 free kill on the site, but actually comes around long. Indeed, Woxi's still going to be the one taking the op over towards the B side as well, and both the ops find their picks right away at the forward angles of long A and the B tunnel's entrance. It literally can't go any better than that, Vince. That's exactly what you want to see with your 2 ops.
Yep, that is certainly the case. Both getting kills in the first few seconds of the round is always going to do a great deal of help to the rest of your team. Drops in the corner. He's actually going to buy this time. Their attention was locked on Woxi, who shot them from the side of the double door. Really sad and pathetic. Like, just grow up, mate. Just grow up.
Why have you gone in that hard?
Because it's true. You know it's true. Yeah. Woxi, in the meanwhile, has just wrecked Rainwaker. So let's move away from the some of the dribblers. Woxi is still going in. 3 kills. No, it's 4. He's actually on for the ace. And it's going to come his way. The ace to Woxi. Again, it's against an eco.
Not poorly yet for Mousesports. Everything's been fine. Now Woxi turns distance to long A instead of B tunnels. Gets the kill again to kick things off. So many opening picks have gone Mousesports' way throughout this half. And it just gets worse, Vince. What is this?
Wait, could this be 2 back-to-back aces? No, Karrigan.
No.
No. And Woxi died anyway. So, yeah. Victor is at least putting down some hurt. He was the standout player for Fate on Inferno. But a 1v3 from this point may be asking quite a bit with 22 HP and just a smoke. Does have the bomb, so that's a slight saving grace, but Frozen is going to finish off of what remained of his HP. Flash, but there is a player in Goose who's going to be called upon momentarily, and that's going to be Frozen. Eagle nearly ripping through him. He's going to finish him off. I'm so surprised that Fate have even got into this position in the first place. There's Woxi and Karrigan on long, and Frozen was basically left out to dry. Karrigan, though, He'll be able to clean them up, and Fate don't get a bomb plant. The Molotov is going to deny that from being the case.
On Dust 2 is favorable. Usually you're able to come up with something, but they have not been able to find much.
Oh, Carrigan. They're going to line up for him. Nearly a triple spray. A flashbang in his eyes. Woxi now perched up on short. It's going to get tagged from the AWP and finished off by Victor. He was trying to scamper away and retreat back to the site, but gets caught with his pants down. Victor going to get Molotov'd off, so they can't get the plant down just yet. But Mousesports not in position after this Molotov clears to stop them, so we are going to have a plant for short. And Mousesports traipsing around Woxi on long. This makes sense. You want to use that long-range ability from the AWP. It's a 1-for-1 trade, double magic. Nearly getting the team kill in, but make sure he finalizes onto Frozen. And he's going to push down close range. It's not ideal for an AWP, but it's going to work out this time, leaving Woxi in another 1v2. He's got a smoke. He does have a flash and a kit, so this is still doable. But he's not sure as to where the two terrorists are residing, and they're both on short. It is one-dimensional, but with an AWP, it's going to be hard to get any kind of consistent spray down. If they peek one by one, maybe it's doable, but he's running out of time and he's missed that first shot. Even if he gets this kill, how is he missing these shots? These are shots that he was landing before, even harder ones than this.
Having that second one outside of the B side, so it's really all on Rots with the AUG. Don't see it too often these days, but he's trying to hold on for dear life in the site.
That smoke's going to save his life, but Chris J has died. A martyr for Rops. He's buyed up enough time. Or bought by. Yeah, nice English, Vince. Now Marlan's going to go in, AK-47 onto Rops. This is the kind of position where a lot of teams will pull the plug, but they're being swept from Rainwaker, who moved in from the long side. B is so difficult to retake, especially when your player's behind, but Woxi seemingly like he's interested. Maybe the confidence is just soaring a little bit too high. Maybe the hubris is going to get the better of them, because if they do lose this round, they're going to be into a very awkward position economically.
What Mousesports needs as Woxi is holding from Car onto long A, which is where pretty much all of Fate is headed, and he's been taken out, though.
Yeah, Woxi, the first player to fall, is a huge part of the puzzle for Mousesports that's gone with him. All 5 players now up on long, looking to push in. Frozen can use the smoke to his advantage. MP9 rips through the head of Duplicate, but it's all teeing off. Long has become a grave for so many players. Mousesports again do under behind with a 1-player disadvantage, but now Rops has gone in with 2 kills. He's going to go back to try and pick up the AWP. He has more than enough time with this kit too to go for the retake and potentially pull off this clutch. It'd be one hell of a clutch for his team. It would be a 1v4, I think. He's going to go out. He does find double magic out in no man's land. He has an incendiary as well if he wants to throw it in. But in the meanwhile, he's going to try and use that smoke, and the bomb's not planted for double magic. He has to go in for this one. It's going to be so close. 1 second remaining. Rops comes off. He knows he was a dead man. He knows there wasn't enough time to go for the defuse, and there's the frag. Is the round going to come with it? It's going to be close, but Rops has got it done. What a clutch. No, he doesn't. A millisecond left. Oh my goodness.
Fate gets their 5th round, forces Mousesports to take a save, gives them a chance to really get on their heels. Just maybe going to be 1 round separating them after this, unless somehow Mousesports pulls it off. They do have a 4-man A stack, so it gives them somewhat of a chance. Kills are coming in, though, and the majority of them for Fate. Just Rops left, and this is going to be around number 6 for Fate. But man, oh man, how differently things could have been if Rops just gets on the bomb a little bit faster.
Mate, apparently that was 0.015 seconds from being defused.
That's so unreal, man.
That's crazy. Rops, though, the player that was so nearly the hero of the last round, is alive and kicking. Wants to make sure that he doesn't go too aggressively in for that AK-47. He's going to wait for the Molotov to land, and now stands to reason there isn't a player there. Why would you Molotov it if you have a player on short? So he's going to pick up the AK and just go for the save. Mousesports, though, after having such a commanding lead, after being so far ahead of Fate, now only 1 round ahead. This is starting to get very scary.
The economies for both teams are actually quite fragile, despite Fate having won the last couple of rounds.
This is going to force their attention onto long that a little bit longer. Karrigan reaps the rewards from Chris J's perfect flashbang. Elsewhere on the map, though, Woxi's about to get tested by Victor, and he will come out worse for wear. Is Rops going to be holding on by himself for the time being? Chris J was thinking about a rotation, but he does have the AWP now. We know how capable he is with this gun.
it's going to come down to this backstab, I feel like, from Duplicate at long A, and they've made this work before. Also, still not even sure if they want to commit to B. They still have a lot of time to kind of leave their options open. They could still go mid B. They could still pressure Cat. Duplicate, if he keeps walking up long A, he might be able to catch someone in the back. Or Kerrigan could bust things up if he decides to push off Cat into lower B. So there's still so many variables in play right now. It's hard to really know what the impact is going to be, especially with Mousesports seemingly knowing that long A can be an option now. They have a player in spawn actually watching for that now, so that's not really going to be as much of a factor. It's really just going to come down to, can they get routes down at the back of the site, and can they get in fast enough before Chris J's op can be on the doors. But as I say that, Chris will commit to the B site. They leave one middle, and they just have Kerrigan watching Cat cross, and he spotted his player.
With that long player being put down, it all now resides on Rops on the site, but he has got some backup in the form of Chris J, who's made a move around to add Frozen's also here. That Molotov isn't going to extend far enough. The grenade's too high up to actually kill Rops. Does take a bit of damage, but not as much as he should have. And now Marlan going to go for the save. Does at least keep the AWP in his hands. Have to rely pretty heavily on this firepower. The likes of Double Magic going to have a lot of impact in this round. Marlan going to take the initiative, going to push in. Efficient. And the barrel of the gun's going to stick around the corner. Jumping kill from Rainwaker. You hate to see that from a Mousesports perspective, but maybe Rops can try and even the odds. Meanwhile, the rest of Fate, they're making a move round onto the other side of the map. They'll actually be pushing through onto A. 13 seconds remain. Frozen's going to get in a lineup, and he's going to spray them both down. And it was Duplicate that was trying to catch Mousesports as they transitioned across from the B site. Duplicate is watching short and can quickly rotate. Was that a bit of a whiffed flashbang? Didn't quite catch it from Chris J's perspective, but now they've been smoked out. It's going to be quite easy to get the cross. Double Magic pierced through the smoke. Couldn't do anything about that. Pulverized down instantly. Bomb plant behind it. There's another one. Rainwaker this time on the receiving end of a battering. And Duplicate only saw a brief second of Woxi's head and couldn't convert into the kill. Is it going to be a clean sweep? Not quite. Duplicate's going to get himself one, but the rest of his team has fallen around him, and he is the last player to fall. So Mousesports going to get the second pistol. I'm just going to go on record and say it's a trash gun. I firmly believe it's terrible, but maybe some of you in chat like it. Each to their own, I guess. Wasn't really required.
The tunnel's approach here, including the bomb carrier. Good little initial kill there from Victor to slow things down, but the trades are so rapid for Mousesports. Well, you have Kerrigan still holding off the CT rotation in middle.
Oh, and he's biding his time, but it's only one. He desperately wishes he had an AK-47. Could have done some real damage, but at least information's gathered, and there is an advantage in terms of firepower in Mousesports' hands. No longer the case. They do have two AK-47s, but it's an injured and weakened Frozen. As Chris J is sent reeling out of the round. Flashbang over. Going to be pushing in. Woxi's there, but he's been dealt with almost instantly, and Frozen's going to get the last kill. There is one player remaining on A, which is Double Magic, but it's only a USP. He actually has the weakest of the pistols. Still does a chunk of damage to Frozen. Obviously waiting for the AWP. Yeah, I mean, I'd say that they're certainly the favorite team to qualify when it comes to try and maybe pushing or getting in the face of Mousesports, because sitting back and waiting hasn't really worked on even map, not on Inferno either. Some damage has been exchanged, but it's the CTs that come out worse for wear. Double Magic's been tagged down, and Rainwaker's been fragged by Woxi, but 2 kills counteracted instantly. Chris J shooting far too high as Duplicate crouched down, but does course correct and gets Mousesports back onto an even playing field. Still loads of time left as well, so that's going to hurt Fate significantly. They're going to have to split up now and be thinly spread around the map. Chris J, maybe living on borrowed time, peeks out, and Victor in such a strong position behind the scaffolding. He's going to make quick work of him. However, Mousesports have got onto B that was completely vacated from Fate. The shot on the cross is the bomb that goes down with it, and that could be the final nail in the coffin, especially as Marlon is also coming round to flank. So Rops 1-on-3.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty much impossible for him. He's got the time, sure, but no utility to put a smoke on the cross to get towards that bomb. Has to worry about his flank tunnels eventually as well. He's just hoping that someone is going to make a mistake and peek through window or door and give him at least a chance at a free kill in a 1v2. Now forced to go for it himself, and he does indeed find Victor, but again, that flank is settling in. He's got to be wary of that. Also knows at least one more is outside of B.
He's so Oh, nearly got the kill. How has Marlon survived that? He must
have a double op in their own right now on the CT side. Mousesports does have a full buy in response, though. And there is Woxi again finding an opening pick with the AWP, as he's done so often throughout this game. Up to 23 kills here in the 20 rounds played.
That's exactly what Fate were hoping wouldn't happen, is you get the first pick from Mousesports and a second for free. There's no counteractive play. It's just 3 frags. There's a third. I can understand duplicate, though. When you're at a 3v5, you've got an MP9 in your hands. Yeah. You know you've got to try and make a play. You've got to try and be a hero. Just so happens he runs out into the crosshair of an SG. Trained on his head. Double Magic behind the smoke. He's going to get one, but Chris J now coming up. Double Magic's going to get a second one. He should be put down. Chris J on the third time of asking. Connects the headshot. And Victor can only sit there and watch the rest of his team get obliterated. There's nothing he can really do. Maybe try and save the AWP that's ahead of him. But they're running out of rounds at this point. Is saving going to be good enough? Well, the question doesn't even need to be answered, Dusk. He's been wrecked by Woxi. We do have a player on elevator, which is duplicate with his MP9. Now going to make his presence known. There's a free kill. A second one follows up, courtesy of Marlon, but the bomb is going to get planted, and this is where the superior firepower for Mousesports may be good enough. They have an AWP in their hands and an SG in the Frozen, and is just blitzing through players all over. Woxi is still training his attention towards long. He has no idea as to where these CTs are coming from, but they're going to funnel their way into short. Marlan has the right idea, just slightly off, but comes back, sets himself, and claims another one. That's 3 kills from Marlon, down to 19 HP. Woxi now 1 on 2. His sensitivity all over the place, and so are his brains. Marlon is going to dish out the fatal blow with a 4K.
As well, but Duplicate has to be worried that maybe a long A push is coming in. Rotation does come in, though, from Rainwaker, but he is very low on health, as Mousesports are indeed looking to cross cat.
They have cross cat, but that's only the first hurdle that's been navigated over. There's a player in Goose, but they've both been swept away. Fate are crumbling. Just when it looked like they could get themselves back into the map, back into this match. Remember, they lost the first map, so they lose this, they're out. It's done. Duplicate and Double Magic looking like they are going to save. So that's going to put them requiring 7 rounds in a row just to take us to overtime, Fate. Otherwise, Mousesports are going to put this in the back pocket and steamroll ahead to the next stage of the closed qualifiers. Duplicate.
Now, there is a lower bracket, so Fate wouldn't be entirely out of it yet if they were to take this loss.
I thought that this was it for them, but fair enough. They do have another chance, though.
Yeah, the one difference between this time and last time is last time you just had to like make the finals of the bracket, and then there would be 2 spots for Europe essentially. But this time around, because there was, I guess, more
in the middle portion, but I'll be taking it through its duration. Did miss a couple of frags. Apologies. Rainwaker gonna kick with the AWP. If he landed that shot in midair, I would have been absolutely disgusted. Solid shot though on the rebound to Chris J. Nades have been thrown in from Mousesports. Now Rops is having a look through mid, seeing if he can try and flank 2 players in CT. There's actually all three players are down here. And if Rops walks around the corner, he should be a dead man courtesy of Double Magic's AWP. But they could walk into him. They could make this easier. Rops with